Zenler is proud to present Mae Dillon. Over 90k in sales each month with Zenler. Are you ready to hear her secret to success? Ready to be inspired? Ready to be motivated? Ready to reach your full potential? Give Melissa a warm welcome. I want to welcome you to this very special, I've called it a workshop, but it's kind of a Q&A session. It's kind of an extension of the podcast that Melissa did with Kevin, which was hugely popular and is still running, still getting lots of views. People are very, very interested in the success and what Melissa is doing, because she's kind of spun it on the head with how she approaches all this stuff. So with this workshop stroke Q&A session, I really wanted to sort of get your questions across to her. And I have a few of my own. I was watching the podcast, I had a ton of questions, but this is about you guys. So I do have some questions I'm going to ask her, and I'm going to bring Melissa up now. Now, as another thing, we have Kyla in here, and Kyla helped with all the techie bits. I'm sure Melissa will be mentioning her in here. So, Melissa, do you want to pop up?
Yes. Okay, there I am. Yay. Hello.
Good to see you. You're looking so colourful. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my vibe.
I love it. I really love it. Look, so right. So what I want to do first of all is I'm just for you guys that haven't seen the podcast, I can't believe there's many of you that haven't seen it. But Melissa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Melissa. I am a new mom. Our baby is almost 10 months old, so that's super exciting. And most people know me though as the insurance exam queen, which is my YouTube channel and what I sell videos for using the Zenler platform. And with that, what I do is I help people pass the insurance exam with ease and confidence. If you want to become an insurance agent, you have to take and pass a test. It is a very hard, difficult test. I worked in the corporate world for 4 years teaching this exam for large insurance companies. And I decided I really wanted to do this on my own, because the company I worked for wasn't helping everybody. They couldn't, right? They can only help their customers. And I was like, I want to be able to help everybody. And the typical corporate companies that run these classes or teach this stuff, they just keep it at a very high level. I like to be super simple, super basic, explain it in a way that just makes so much sense. And so I just started, with the YouTube channel, selling the videos on the Zenler courses. So I'm the insurance exam queen. That's how most people know me in the online space. But yeah, there's so many things I could say about myself, but I'm so excited to be here.
It's brilliant. So I want to ask you, so what was your goals from the start? So you're obviously doing this, you're a mum. What made you decide to do the online course, and how did that kind of start?
Yeah.
Where was the vision that started?
If we were to really start, it's actually kind of a while back. So like I said, I'd been teaching for the corporate company how to pass the exam. And I was very good. I was the most requested instructor. The United Healthcare, the largest insurer in the world, changed their entire schedule of training and hiring to make sure I could be their instructor. And so I was just very, very good at it. And but it was frustrating to me that I couldn't help as many people as truly needed it. And I was only being utilized in the live person classes, only if an insurer could pay thousands of dollars for me to show up, so I wasn't able to help the masses. And insurance is such an amazing career opportunity for people. All you need to do is pass one test and you could have a job. The minimum income is $52,000 a year, which is decent. I mean, I as a school teacher, I made, 30 to 40,000 a year. So as an insurance agent, you're starting at minimum 52 a year, nationally on the average. So I was like, this is an amazing career that people could have. And that's if you stay at like a W-2 job or something. You can be on your own commission only, and you can make, 6 figures, 7 figures as an insurance agent. So I was like, how do I help more people? Because I'm a teacher at heart. That's like who I am. Like, teaching is who I am. I am like the teacher. That's me. And while going to school to become a teacher, I was like, what's the highest paying job I can get? And it was insurance. And then I learned about insurance, and I got very passionate about insurance. So like teaching is who I am, and insurance is just something I'm very passionate about. Not only the way that it works and how it covers people and what it does for us, but also the job opportunity that it is. So I was working the corporate job though, and I didn't, in my mind, it was like, this is the only way to do this, right? Like, I don't know how, I've never even heard of an insurance instructor out there, like as a thing. I felt like I was kind of lucky to get this position. I had been teaching for a while in the school system, and I just fell out of love with the school system. It's not the best place for people to be. I didn't like the way that I had to like control and manipulate children in order to get them to sit down and shut up. And I was just very dissatisfied with this mode of teaching. And I was like, well, I know insurance. So I was like, how can I started searching for jobs, teaching and insurance at the same time. And that's how I landed at this position. But I didn't think it was a thing that I could do beyond the company, right? I held this belief that the only way I could make money doing teaching insurance was to work at this corporate company, but there's no way for me to move up. There's no other position, like, but I wanted to be able to make more money, and I wanted to be able to help way more people. So but I didn't know how it was possible, right? Like my belief system was the only way to do what I'm doing is to stay at a corporate company, and you're limited as to the amount of money that you're going to make. Like, this is it. Then there was a job opportunity at one of the companies that, insurance companies would hire my corporate company or the corporate company I worked for to come work for them. And so one of the companies that I went to often, they were actually looking to hire someone full time to do what I do. Like, instead of, hiring that company, they're like, we want to put an in-house person doing the training. And this company loved me. I mean, they had me coming out. I was going to they had offices all over the country. And there was one in Mississippi. We had to get 300 licensed agents on the floor as quickly as possible. And every month I would come out, train 30 new people, and I would watch this floor just fill up with the people on the phones and selling insurance. And every time I come back, they'd wave to me and say hello. Like, I was like pretty much a celebrity at that location. And I filled up that entire floor with people. And so I was like, this company loves me. There's no way they wouldn't offer me this job. But I mean, their company's kind of a mess. And I was like, I wouldn't necessarily want to work for them unless it was at least $100,000. And I said that not even knowing about like what they would pay. I wasn't even willing to apply for it. I knew that if I did apply, it would be my job. I knew that I could definitely get it, but I was not interested unless it was at least $100,000 a year, which to me was mind blowing to be able to make $100,000 as a teacher coming from a background of like 30 to 40,000. 100,000 was like mind blowing. I thought I was like in the best position in the world, because at this corporate company, I was around 60,000, which is like double my teaching salary that I had made before. So it elevated my belief that it is possible for me to make more money. So this company, though, we start going through the interviews like, sorry, I called the HR because they know me. And I was like, how much is this? How much are you going to offer for this position? And they're like 90 to 100,000. I was like, oh my God. Like, I literally said it has to be 100,000. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to apply. And it was like, I know this job is mine. Like, the belief and the certainty that this was absolutely my job. And what that did for me was it meant that I now fully believed I could earn $100,000 in a year like that. Like, it was so real to me because I knew that this company loved me. I knew that this job was mine and that I could make $100,000. So we go through the process of applying and stuff like this. But ultimately, the one of the hiring guys it didn't fit right. And then they started like lowering the amount of money they were willing to pay for this position, which is, remember what I said, this company was a mess. And so like I already knew they were a mess. And so I didn't end up getting that job, but it stirred in me two things. One, I could definitely make $100,000 because I now had the belief that doing what I do and the way that I do it is worthy of having, $100,000. The other thing that it started kicking in for me was I was like, well, if I'm no longer at a corporate company solely focused on the insurance exam, and I'm at a company who focuses on insurance, I would be able to start a YouTube channel doing insurance exam content. I wouldn't be in competition. If I switched jobs into this new company, then I would be a free agent to make a YouTube channel. So I had this idea in my mind that I could have a YouTube channel teaching the insurance exam concepts. I even encouraged the corporate company I was working for, like, don't you think we could get a lot more customers if we can get a YouTube channel out there and I could be teaching these little concepts? And they were not interested in it. But the idea of it really began to plant in my mind. So I ended up staying at my job that year. I didn't get that other job, which was ultimately awesome, but it gave me the belief that I should be earning $100,000. So around the month of like November of that year, I got into a group of women entrepreneurs. And one of the women that I really connected with, who's in the meeting right now, is Christine Michelle. And she had made this post about instant manifestation, like how to get something into your world that you want. And she had this simple little equation, and I followed the equation, and I began manifesting things like a free sewing machine, a $1,500 sewing machine. I got it for free using what she had taught in that one little post. So I started following her. I started joining any programs that she offered. I did some like free programs, and then towards the end of the year in December, she had a program, and it was like $777. And that to me at a time was a kind of a decent amount of money. And I'm like, but man, like this woman, I've already like brought like free thing. Like she gave me $1,500 with this sewing machine. Like I think I can afford 777. So, but since she had released a coupon that made it like 333, and I was like, oh my God, like the jackpot. So I signed up for her course. It was called Limitless. And we started going through this Limitless course. And it was in that course that I was like, I need to just quit my job. I can do this. I can, if I just start a YouTube channel, something will happen. It will work. It will happen. It's gonna just work. And so in her course, so she was with me as a corporate worker. I quit my job, and then I just started a YouTube channel. So I mean, and I did not follow the rules. I didn't care about editing. I didn't care about perfect lighting. I'm still working on my lighting. Like I have a mess of an office right now trying to make sure I've got like perfect lighting. I'm just now getting good at doing that. I didn't worry about lighting. I didn't worry about editing videos. I didn't worry about cool graphics sliding into the numbers or any like my video. I just turned on the camera. I had my little whiteboard, and I was like, the definition of risk is the uncertainty or chance of loss occurring. You know, it was just me and a little whiteboard teaching, making videos on my YouTube channel. So I started, so people started finding me. I decided to do what felt good and right to me, what was easy for me. And what was easy for me was Facebook and YouTube. Put videos on YouTube, get people to come to Facebook because that's where I like to hang out. That's what I knew and understood. So I was like, I'm just going to hang out, in Facebook. So what I would do is I would just post YouTube videos teaching the little concepts, and then I would encourage them to either email me or to find me in my Facebook study group. And I would help and support them. And at the time, I started offering tutoring at $33 an hour. Because to me, like that, I was like, okay, I know people would pay for tutoring. I know I could do this at $33 an hour. So I started doing that. In the first month of my business, I made $220. And I was like, heck yeah, $220. I made money doing my thing. And I was like, I know that this is going to work out. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Like this is evidence that I can make money doing it my way, doing what I want to do. And I just began, building my audience. So I continued to post on YouTube, had people into the Facebook group. And then I started kind of getting really busy with the tutoring. And I'm like, I can't, but like, if I can only make $33 in one set hour, and that 1 hour will never make money again, this isn't working for me. I was like, I need to make more money. And it was kind of nerve-wracking actually increasing my prices. So I increased it to like $55. And I was actually doing $33 an hour, but if you book 2 hours, I would do it for $55. And then I had to change my hourly rate to $55. And I was still getting like, my schedule was like, I didn't know, even like I had to hire someone to help me figure out how to get people to book an appointment with me, and then for me to show up on time, because I am not like a numbers person, and like time zones were like weird as heck to me. And there was one time I sat down and I had 3 people messaging me saying, hey, it's our hour. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't do it. I had 3 of you at one time. So I was like, I'm not in love with this one-to-one only making money in this 1 hour at this time. So I was like, I'm going to start teaching a class. I have an audience enough that I'll just sell tickets to a class where I could have a bunch of people come all at one time. So I offered my first class. I think it was like a 4-hour boot camp for $55 a ticket. And I think I had made somewhere around $800. And I was like, oh my God, jackpot. Like we did it. Like I figured out how, and I think so it's like 4 hours, $800. I was making way more than $33. So I, again, elevated my belief that I could be making a lot more money in each hour. So then I started teaching these classes, and then people are like, hey, I missed the class. Can I get a copy of the video? Can I buy that from you? And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So then I started selling individual video recordings. Now, at the time, I was using not Zenler. I was using something else, but and it worked initially because I was just selling one video at a time. So it was mostly like a download. So in reality, I was actually selling these videos and they could own it forever, which I would not recommend now. I definitely set time limits on how long you can have my videos for. That way you have to buy them again. You should take your test pretty quickly. But so anyway, I was selling them as downloads. And I remember the first month that I hit like $7,000 in the entire month. And it was like mind-blowing to me. And it was around this time where I had been doing Christine's, courses, her low ticket stuff, her free stuff. And I was like, I really want to expand this business to infinity. Like I was like, I want to make this big. I believe and trust everything that Christine is saying. I've seen her evidence of what she's doing. She really lights me up. She really inspires me. And she had been running this promotion called, I think it was like Infinite Bigness or something like that. And it was all about being big and taking up space. And it was so like exact. I was like, I was feeling everything that she was saying. And she offered a quarterly program. She was like, for the next quarter, you can get into every program I have. And I, $777 that first one. And I luckily got it for $300. But I was like, oh my gosh, if I could lock in every program that she's about to have for the next quarter, like this is going to be epic. But the price tag was $3,000. And I'm like, well, I'm just beginning to make money like in my business and I'm going to dump $3,000. But I was like, I got to invest in myself. And I believe that this is the ticket for me to do that. So I ended up purchasing it. And crazy enough, I was the only one who got the quarterly. So what she decided to do, she's like, this was made for Melissa. And she's like, I'm going to give Melissa one-on-one. Like, and to me, like, that's great. Like paying what I paid to get one-on-one with her was insane because her one-on-one is way more expensive than that. Let me tell you, I pay it now. But I was like, so it was just so cool that I trusted in myself. I invested in myself and I ended up getting something way more magical than what I had initially thought I was going to get. So now she's my one-on-one coach and we begin to blow up. We go from 7,000 to like 14,000 to 20,000 to like 30,000, all with her, one-on-one coaching and just supporting me. And the biggest thing is like, she talks about the woo and the do. So many of you are here for the do. How do I do this? How do I do that? What is the strategy I need? How do I get my audience to come in? How do I get these customers? That's only like one piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it really doesn't matter the how. And what I mean by that is like, you might meet someone who says you must absolutely have an Instagram. The only way to make money in the online space is having an Instagram. I don't have one. Like, I mean, I have one. Someone started it for me, but like, I am not on, Instagram does not light me up. I don't understand it. I'm all about Facebook, right? So my point in that is whatever, there's 1,000 million strategies and what one person says works for them, maybe what works for them, but it might not be your strategy. You can't just have that one side of it. You can't focus on strategy only. You have to focus on the woo side, which is the energy side. So the energy side of things is that we are vibrational beings and what we are putting out comes back to us. And one of the things I've learned in this journey is that truth is the highest frequency that you can be at. And when we say at a high frequency, you're like a radio and you have like vibrations coming off of you. And what is coming off of you is what comes back to you. So if you're in this space of it's so hard to make money, it's so hard to have an online business, that's what you're putting out as your signal, and that is exactly what comes back. So this is about the truth of things. So the thing about truth is that it is based on perspective. Like truth can change because what feels true may not actually be true, but if it feels true to you, that becomes what is happening. So for instance, let's just use an example of, you may say, and this could be true for me back in my younger years, but I could say all men suck. All men want to take advantage of me. All men just want to use me for one thing. No man actually wants to be in a relationship with me. If that is my truth, because that is what I've experienced, that is what I'm believing, that is what I will continue to keep seeing. I have to change my truth but it has to feel true. So like, this is something too that people get really stuck up on with like law of attraction and vibration and stuff like that, is they'll say an affirmation. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire, right? Like just say it until you believe it. The thing is if you say I'm a millionaire and there's a thought in your head that goes, no, you're not. That's the truth. That's the truth you're holding on to. That's the truth that you're currently emitting at. So you can say all day long, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. But if there's a little voice in the back of your head that says, no, you're not, you're such a liar, that's never true, that's never going to happen, that is your actual reality. That is the actual truth you're vibrating. So that is what you want to focus on, is that little voice in your head that says, that's not true, that's not true. So one of the things that Christine teaches is find evidence somewhere else. So if I have the belief that all men suck and all men are here to take advantage of me or whatever it is, I need to find evidence. If I can't create in my internal world and my external world a new reality of men, I have to see someone, okay, well, she's in a relationship with an amazing guy and he's awesome. So if it's true for her, it could be true for me. So I begin to use other people as evidence. One of the people I decided that gets to be my evidence is Kylie Jenner. Like, I don't know much about her, but I know that she's young. I know that she has like lip gloss and that she makes billions and that she's upset a lot of people doing all of that. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. And that was like the attitude that I've had my whole business. If they can, I can. If Kanye can, I can. If Jeff Bezos can, I can. If Elon can, I can. And I have just been in like affirming that belief to myself constantly, not just saying it, I'm a millionaire, or if them, I say, if them, me too. If them, me too. If them, me too. And this is my way of changing that little voice in my head that says, no, you can't. Why? You're not special enough. You can't do that. We've got to change that voice in our head that because that is the truth. That voice, if you believe it, that's the truth. But you get to change the truth. Like my truth was, I was a teacher. Teachers don't make money. Teachers have to sacrifice and never be financially rewarded for what they do. That is the truth in what we see. But there is a belief beyond that. And I decided I wanted to be a teacher who makes a ton of money. And I also, like, one of the things is so crazy. I don't spell very well. Like there's typos left and right. And so, but I would always say, even at my corporate company, I'm a highly paid instructor that cannot spell. Like that was my truth. I was like, and I would say that all the time at the corporate company. I was making double what I made as an elementary teacher. So in my mind, I was a highly paid instructor. So this whole time I'm just saying I'm a highly paid instructor that can't spell. And this became, my reality. So anyway, what you're radiating as your truth and this is why some people like look at me like I have pink and yellow hair. I wear a spaghetti strap like 99% of the time. I am not an insurance corporate worker looking person, but I am helping insurance people left and right pass their insurance exam with ease and confidence. I am radiating truth. This is truth. This is my authentic me. And the more that I am authentically me, the more my truth is coming out, the more I am bringing to me what it is I want to bring to me. So we are like 2.5 days away from hitting $1 million in sales since I started my business. And that was 2 years ago, 2 years, like January. So what, 2 years and 4 months. So in less than 2.5 years, I'll be hitting $1 million. And my truth used to be that I'm a poor teacher, only making $30,000 a year. But I just slowly had new and new evidence that allowed me to believe I can make more, I can achieve more, I can have more, I can do what I love, I can look like how I love. And it's just been magical, and it's been so powerful having Christine beside me. And she's the one who got me on Zenler, by the way. So I was using that other course provider because I wouldn't, when I started my business, I wasn't one-on-one with Christine, right? I was just using her programs, but I was still trying to figure things out myself. Once I got one-on-one with her is when we switched over to Zenler. We got everything sorted out, and then it's been $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 months. And this should be, I'm pretty certain, because we're already at $53,000 today. This will be our first $100,000 month. And to be fair, I have made $100,000 a month when you include all my streams of income. But I want to see 100,000 on Zenler. Like that's where I'm at. So this should be the month that I see $100,000 for the month in Zenler. So I'm super excited about that. So, but anyway, I could go on all day. So let me know what questions you have.
It's so inspirational, and it's really funny because you've answered quite a lot of the questions I was going to give you. So that's good. But I really love that. I really love that kind of that positivity. You know, it's true. What you put out there is what you get back. And it's like, I just think it's, why be negative anyway? You know, there's always a positive side to everything that you're doing, and you should love what you're doing. I mean, you ooze passion about what you do as well. And I personally think that's my thing, is that I don't work unless I'm passionate about the work I'm doing. I haven't got the time for it. Life's too short. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. And that to me is my drive. And I'm excited to talk to people who are successful. I'm excited to pass information on to users on the platform because it helps them. I want them to make money, you know? So it's brilliant. So I want to ask you, so why do you think that so many people that are starting their own business, doesn't necessarily have to be online, fail?
Because they're doing what they think will make money instead of doing what they want to do. So we often have this belief that like only certain ways, only certain things will be what allows us to make money. Or we may have been conditioned, like, okay, you may be super passionate about flowers and growing plants and growing flowers, but you may have gone to college and you learned about, you know, math and Excel sheets. And you're like, I really know Excel sheets, so I'm going to have a course about Excel sheets. But you're actually really passionate about flowers, but you're trying to make money on Excel sheets because that's what you learned how to do and you're really good at it. So when we try to go after something that we think would make money versus what we actually want to be doing, I think that makes a big difference. So, and to that point, like someone just asked in the comment, how often did you post on YouTube? Here's the thing. I did not follow the rules. YouTube says that I should have been posting minimum 2 videos a week consistently at the same time on the same day in order to see the type of success that I have seen. There was months where I didn't post any videos because I was so busy in tutoring sessions. And even like when I was pregnant, or having there was times where I never posted a video, but the videos that were up were me. They were passionate. They were super excited about what I was doing. And when you hold a belief that the only way I can get an audience is if I'm posting 2 times a week on YouTube, then you're going to find that to be true. I held the belief that I can only handle what I can handle in my day. And as long as I'm handling everything the best and I'm feeling good and excited about my life, everything else will just work out. So even though I wasn't consistently posting, even though I didn't have perfectly edited videos, YouTube has become my main source of where I receive people from. And now it's word of mouth. Everything has been organic. I haven't paid not one dime. Maybe I think one time we tried an ad, but it didn't work. So it might be a lie if I said I haven't paid one dime, but I really have not paid money to advertise. I think we tried, it didn't work. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. We're doing just fine as it is. So this has been 100% organic, and it has been very word of mouth. I started very early asking for 5-star reviews. I started a Google Maps, Google page so that I could get 5-star reviews. And actually, it was funny as I passively asked people. I didn't actively ask people. I had to shift some of my beliefs and being nervous about, hey, can you tell people how great I am? That was a little funky for me, but now I'm all about it. Tell people how great I am and tell them how much I can help them pass the exam and let them know I can save them time and money and frustration and overwhelm and let them know that I can get them passing the exam. Like I'm all about it now. But it took some mindset shifting beliefs and stepping into that new identity. Christine is amazing at identity work, by the way, because so much of who we are is what do you identify as? That is your truth. If you identify as someone who, can only make money because I went to college and because I have a good job, then that's what you're going to radiate. That's what you're going to get back. So anyway, I did a lot of identity work and I was shifted from the perspective of I can ask people to tell other people that what I have is amazing. So if you actually if you go to my Google review page or you go to my Facebook group, other people are selling for me. I don't even, it's very rare. Like another rule I didn't follow, an email list. We only just kind of started emailing consistently. It wasn't something that we were consistently, that I ever really did. I had a ton of emails, but I wasn't doing anything with them. Now that I have a team who can help me, we're starting to email, but it wasn't part of my strategy at the beginning. And I was able to get where I got without it. If you believe that you have to have a certain strategy in order to make money, then that truth is going to be your reality. And until you find that exact strategy, you're going to keep hitting your head against the wall. But if you have the belief that when I'm doing what I love, when I'm doing what I'm passionate about, when I'm doing something that is going to serve the world, it will flow in. However it flows in, it will flow in. It will be taken care of. It will come in. It will provide support. And that's, I choose to believe that it can be easy. And I have more and more evidence that it's easy. In fact, a story about that. I bought new Zenler and I didn't activate it really for like a few months. And the reason being was because I held the belief that I had to have better videos than what I had. So remember, I was teaching classes. People would pay money to come to a class, like, $55 to come to a class. I would record that Zoom meeting just like this. I would just record it. And it was me teaching. I'd have my screen. I would draw stuff. I would talk. We would chit chat. And I recorded that video. And I was selling those videos on the other platform. I had a belief that now that I had pretty new Zenler with like all these little course sections, that I really needed to have beautiful, clean videos of me teaching. And there was multiple phone calls I had with Christine, where Christina's like, you have videos. And I was like, but they're not clean, edited video. I can't possibly sell a course if I don't have clean, edited videos. And every time I would try to sit down and record a video, some problem would happen. Technology was a problem. Camera wasn't connecting. It was problem after problem when I tried to go down what was the hard path. The hard path would be remaking every video, redoing everything I already done. That was a difficult path. And I was like dead set on going on it until finally Christine convinced me, like, use what you already have. So I took a day and I got little note cards and I just wrote out, okay, I have this video, it's 1 hour long and it talks about this topic. I have this video, it's 2 hours long, it talks about that topic. And then I wrote them all out and then I arranged them. And I said, okay, this is, because there was different times where I offered different classes. Like I could offer a 2-hour class on homeowners, or I could have a 1-hour class on homeowners. So what I did is I grouped them together and I created 3 packages. I did a $27 package, which was about 8 hours worth of video covering all the major topics. And then I did a silver package. So I did bronze at 27, silver at 57. And Christine had taught me that 9s or 7s are the best for marketing. So I did that. I ended everything on a 7. So I did 57 for silver, and that was about 14 hours of video. And then I did my gold package, is what I really push, and that's $97. And it's all the video, like basically all, like the most longest, best videos of all the topics. And then I said gold gets to get bronze and silver with it. So you can either pay 27 for 8 hours, 57 for 14, or 97 and get 30 plus the 14 plus the 27. So gold included all of it. And these were all videos that I already had. And then I put them in Zenler and I created little packages and all that stuff and created a bundle with gold. And our very first day was $1,000, which is more than I had like ever had made on a single day before. So the first day we launched on Zenler, and I was like, oh, it was just wild and crazy to me. It was so exciting. But I had the belief, like, well, I had the belief, I wanted the belief that it could be easy. And it was so easy once I stopped trying to make it so hard. I am making money. I am making infinite amounts of money on videos that I made over 2 years ago now at this point. And they are just making money on repeat. And I didn't have to edit. I didn't have to do anything. I had to just make them available for sale. Like that was it.
Well, wait a minute. But you also got paid when you
Yes.
were doing it.
Yes, I got paid.
So that's what I love, where you get paid
Yes.
and then you repurpose it and you get paid.
Yes. That was one of my beliefs too, is like, I don't want to believe that only one certain activity or one certain thing could make money. When we have a W-2 job in a corporate world, we are very convinced and we believe the only way to make money is to go somewhere else, spend time, and only they can determine how much money I make. When you hold that belief, you deny the fact that you could just be making money. I'm making money right now. 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 Like my YouTube channel, like you look at the views, YouTube pays me. My course, the Zenler pays me. Like I'm receiving money. I have a partnership. Like I'm receiving money all the time from all these different places when I remove the belief that I can only make money during this certain hour of the day. And only if someone was willing to pay me that. I was like, I don't want that belief anymore. I want to believe that I make money doing whatever. And another, interesting thing is when we made the jump. So we had gotten up to like 50,000, and this is when I had my baby. And then I started to feel kind of antsy because it was like, and I'll tell you something, like some of you guys are sitting here like, if I could just make 10,000, everything would be perfect. I would never need anything again. I have felt that way every time I made 10 and then 20 and then 30, but like, you're like, no, we need more. We need more. That's the thing is financial security is a myth. You have to have financial serenity. There literally is no amount of money that you can earn that you would say, I feel completely safe, because even when you make millions, you're going to want that millions to make millions. You're going to want to invest it. There's always a drive to have, I mean, maybe not every person, but I know like I really believe that there are within family units, there are people who are designated to bring the money into the family. And I feel that is true for me. So for me, it's like there's never enough. And you hit these goals of 10,000 a month. And then it's like, okay, but what about 20? And then you hit 20, you're like, okay, but now we can do 30. Okay, but now we can do 40. And like, I'm still like, I was like today, I was like, you know what? I've been saying 6-figure months for so long. It's time to just say $1 million month. I'm ready for $1 million month.
Are you bored? You're bored, yeah.
No.
It's just take it higher. I go for millions.
Yes. And so I had the baby and I started getting a little bit antsy because I couldn't really put like, I have the baby. I've got to nurse the baby. I got to take care of the baby. I can't just be on my computer and, being on Facebook. And really my job is not that hard. And I really love to pay people to do what they love. So I have a decently sized team. I don't need it. I want it so that I can have freedom. So, like one of the people I've hired is Michaela. I think she met me at around 20,000 a month, 20 to 30,000 a month. And she's been with me on the journey up to now 90,000 a month. She redid my whole Zenler site. She made things easy, understandable. Like if you saw what I had going on when I was only making 20 and 30,000 a month, it was like, there was no information. It was just, these are the courses and just click one, figure out if you want it and buy it. Then she made it so easy to understand what's available, what you want to buy and all this stuff. So she's skyrocketed our Zenler website. But I was around 50,000 a month. I had the baby and I began to get frustrated that I would have to step away from my business to be with the baby, but I wanted to be with the baby. So I was like, you know what? I'm holding on a belief that the only way I can make money is if I'm standing here at the computer. I don't want that belief anymore. I'm going to have the belief that I make the most money when I am just being mama, when I'm taking care of my baby, when I'm nursing my baby, when I'm hanging out with her, when I'm playing with her. Because this was also right around the time where my husband, he's a full-time hunter and fisherman, and this was hunting season. So he was gone all day long hunting. I love having my organic venison, fresh from the earth meat. And so it's very important to me that he goes out and hunts and gets the meat for us. I do not like store-bought meat. And so, but he would be gone all day long. And so it's just me with the baby. And it's like, I'm the financial person. I'm the one who makes, he brings in the meat, the actual bacon. But I bring in the money. So I was like, if I have to spend all my time being mama, I can't bring in more money. And I felt that at 50,000, just FYI. Like, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, if I could just make 20, the world would be amazing. No, you're going to want more. You're going to feel the urge for more, just letting you know. So I was like, I want to be able to bring on more. And I was like, just frustrated feeling. And then I was like, no, I make the most money being mama. I make the most money being mama. I make the most money being mama. And I just began enjoying, I stopped feeling angsty when I had to stop what I was doing on the computer and pay attention to my baby and be with her. And I just was like living it up. I was like, I love being mama. I love being able to just hang out with my baby whenever I want. I love that I can step away from my work and take care of my baby. And then we shot up 80,000, 90,000. Now we're at 100,000. And I'm working less and less and less. Like, this is mostly what I'm doing now is I just go live on my YouTube twice a week. I check my emails here and there. I've got a team running everything else. I just went traveling to Texas. I'm about to head out to Arizona. My husband just flew to Germany today for his trip. He goes fishing. He's got a daughter out there. I got my sister in Arizona. I'm about to get my sister set up on her business. So she has she teaches this amazing course called Up Level that helps you to figure out what your truth is and what you're radiating and how to change your vibrations. And she's got this incredible course that she mostly only ever taught in person. And I'm like, we've got to get it on Zenler. We've got to get an evergreen going. So I'm going to go there and help her get set up on it. And it's just super exciting. But whatever belief you hold to be true is the belief that will show up. So if you believe it's hard to make money, if you believe that you've got to spend hours and hours creating your course, if you believe that nobody wants your stuff, like who would I don't want to buy my stuff? That's the reality you're going to keep getting back. But I've got the reality that I make money when I'm just chilling. I make money when I'm doing my thing. I make money when I'm just being mama. I make money doing it my way, not editing, not posting consistently, not following this exact algorithm of whatever the nonsense is. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to share my love. I'm going to share my passion, and it's just going to roll in. That's a belief I have, and it's been working out. Chef's kiss for me right now.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. I mean, the thing is, I see this every day, guys. You know this. I've mentioned it all the time. Keep things simple. Everyone tries to overcomplicate things rather than stick with the things they know. It's like Melissa, pre-recorded videos. When she's recorded the video, she's been paid for it. She's put them on a course and she's making money. It's that simple. It doesn't need to be tie into mail a light, do all these things going out from here, be on all the social channels. You know, you're just going to get stressed by it and you're not going to want to do it. And it's a big problem. You know, if you need to be moving forward, you need to be enjoying what you're doing and keep the whole thing simple and be positive with it as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Stay simple as you get going. Those other components will come in. We do have Mailer Lite now, but I'm not the one who does it. Like when do what you love to do what feels good to you, do what feels right to you. I mean, you do have to get some like consistency coming in. You do have to be like, okay, because there's a difference between, you know, I'm busy taking care of my baby and I've got stuff to do versus I'm going to sit here and wonder and ponder if everything's going to work out for me instead of taking the action. When you have the availability to take the action, take the action. Don't sit and ponder. So there are times where I'm not necessarily 100% consistent in everything that I'm doing, but when I have the time to do it, I do the action. I take the action. I get it done. There are things I don't love. I do not love taxes. Don't love it. But there are times where you do have to do something you don't love. But then you get to a place where you can have enough money and you pay someone to do that for you, but you have to be able to get to that point. So initially in the beginning, it's not all beautiful flowers and amazingness. There's going to be struggle. There's going to be, annoyances. And that's where it's been so powerful to me to have Christine as my one-on-one coach, helping me sort through some of this stuff, being there to support me. And also she has a flip-flop slot. Every once in a while, I'll be like, I can't, or I won't, or this is awful. And she'll, flip-flop slot me and say, wake up, You're a fucking boss. Like, let's go. And get on, like, do your taxes, get it done, you know, and then you can. So it's not to say everything is like beautiful and amazing. I mean, as humans, we still have to sit on the toilet. We still have to have moments that are not awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen. So even the most, I like to, we think that there's gonna be a moment where all our answers are solved, everything is peaceful, it's butterflies and roses all the time. And you may think that if I just make 10,000, that will be the moment. If I just make 20,000, that will be the moment. That moment does not exist. There will always be something. There will always be something. Even the most amazing, delicious, beautiful meal that you can eat will turn into a pile of poop. So like we've got to understand there is beauty and there is struggle, and you got to put them together, and that is what life is. And you just got to take it day by day, take it moment by moment, go through the tough stuff, go through the joyful stuff. The biggest thing I would say is, like, don't think that the tough stuff means you're wrong or your path isn't right. Like, when I kept hitting the struggle of the technology not working when I tried to make perfectly edited videos, I could have said, well, this means that my business, if I can't, if I'm not going to be able to make videos, my business is over. And I could have just thought it was all wrong and just quit. And that was right on the verge of making, 50, 60,000 a month at that point. So there's going to be shitty moments. There's going to be awful moments. But when you can trust and believe that everything is working out for your favor, no matter what those moments are, and ride through those moments, then there's beauty in that. I do see a question in the chat I wanted to hit. Anita says, my question is, I've been running my 5-day event for free every 2 months for a year now. I want to charge for the next one. Is there a sweet spot when charging it for the first time? Why are you even doing them for free for so long? But they're like, okay, the amount of money that you charge needs to feel good to you. And this is something I slowly worked on with Christine, because like we had many conversations, and I believe now, working with me, if I don't even allow people to work with me one-on-one. Remember, I started at 33 an hour one-on-one. You couldn't get me to get out of bed for 1 hour to work on the tutoring if it weren't for at least 9,000 at this point. Like, I'm like, nope, not going to do it. If someone were to say, I'll pay you $3,000 tomorrow to sit for 1 hour in video, I'll be like, I don't know. I got stuff going on. But your belief about your belief about money does slowly get to change. So just know, whatever you start at doesn't have to be where you stay. Okay. So don't put too much pressure on figuring out the exact right amount of money. Hi there. Don't worry too much about the exact amount of money. Just do something that feels fun and playful. So like I really liked playing around. Most of my videos that I initially sold were right around like $27, $37, whatever, something like that. Start with whatever amount of money feels good. Because here's the thing. If you go, I'm going to charge $1,000 for this, and you're like, and that little voice, remember your truth. If your truth goes, oh my God, no one would pay $1,000 for that. You're insane. But you're like, I'm going to do $1,000 because that's what my coach said I should do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. You're so stupid. No one's ever going to pay that amount of money. That is awful. If that's your reality, you don't want that to be your reality. So you've got to pick a number that doesn't make your nervous system go, that's way too much money. And you get to change over time. So you can allow yourself to charge more money over time. The sweet spot is just what feels good and right. Do that, and then you may change it next time. Like right now, I have a Magic Money membership. It's $33 a month. It's unrelated to the insurance exam. It's $33 a month. The value that I offer in that is way more than $33 a month, but it feels playful to me right now, and I want to keep that playful energy. So I just do $33 a month. But there is a point where I feel like I'll charge $300 for that. I'll charge $3,000 for that. I may charge $300,000 for that at some point. Because over time it'll just change, and it'll just be different. Christine may be the better one to answer your question, but don't put too much pressure on trying to find the exact correct dollar amount. I went with what felt right to me and what felt good to me. And what felt good to me was I was very certain early on that I wanted to be very affordable. There are other instructors who charge in my field $500 for what I offer on YouTube for free. right? There are instructors who charge way more money than I am. And I'm like, no, 27, 57, 97 and free on the YouTube. So, and it feels better to me. And what feels good to you, what feels right to you is that's the sweet spot. But if it doesn't feel right to charge at all, that's because you have a belief that nobody wants to buy your stuff or no one would engage with it if it weren't for free. But let me tell you, when I pay money, like this year alone, when you add up what I have or will spend, what I've committed myself to, $70,000 for personal investment. So between what I pay Christine, between another program that I'm in, two other different programs that I wanted to be in, over $70,000 in my personal development. I will show up to what I paid money for way more than what I will show up to what was free to me. So I don't miss when I paid money to be in this and there's a live class, I'm going to show up. If it was free to me, I'm like, I can catch the replay, not a big deal. So that's a thing too about charging money. If you want to actually have an audience of people who shows up, you got to charge them because then they're going to be way more invested in actually showing up. You've got them to invest actual dollars now. And now they're more likely to want to show up and want to engage. So hopefully that answers your question.
Right, Melissa, we're opening the cameras. So guys, you've come on. If anybody else wants to come on, just come on. If you've got a question now for Melissa, then I'm taking up far too much time. So anyone got a question? I love it. It's all brilliant stuff. It's really got good engagement, so I love it. So anyone's got a question, you can raise your hands. I will unmute you. Actually, I'll let you unmute. If you're not speaking, keep yourself muted. But if you want to ask a question of Melissa, now's your chance, guys.
There's
no questions?
Oh, go ahead. If someone has one. I'm just going to answer the ones in the chat if no one has one verbally.
All right.
So Bryn asked, how much business did you have before you started hiring a team? What support did you prioritize? So there were different times where I hired small things. Like when I got started and I was struggling with people booking appointments and collecting the money, I hired someone just for a one-time thing to help set me up. So at different times I've done different things, but when it was around $20,000 a month when I hired someone to help me with the business because I was going to have the baby. So then I hired someone and she actually took over and ran the business for me for a while I was on maternity leave. And then we've just slowly added people when it feels right. I brought on Michaela initially with Michaela, with the octopus, if you see her here in the video. I paid her a set amount of money to just fix my homepage and to fix stuff on Zenler, but she proved her value and it was amazing. And I felt really good working with her. So then I was like, how do I keep working with you month by month? And then, we figured out how to set that up. And, so it's what feels right. And I have a pretty decently sized team because I just don't want to have to do things that I don't enjoy doing or like, when I teach, I love just getting my marker. Like this is my whiteboard and I want to teach like this, but someone can turn that into a presentation, a PowerPoint for me. And so I pay them to do that. So I pay people to do the things that I don't necessarily love doing. At the beginning, you will need to do them when you don't have enough money necessarily to hire someone, but just know that I'm doing this now and soon I'll be able to hire someone who absolutely loves doing this and does it much better than me. And that's going to be amazing. So hopefully, and I prioritized initially anything that I really, really struggled with. So things that were not my strong suit. So my strong suit was not figuring out how to book appointments, getting a payment link and stuff like that. So I hired someone to do that. And then anything else like monitoring the YouTube channel, I can make the video and upload the video, but I didn't. I eventually hired someone who understood the tags, the titles, the thumbnails, the stuff like that, the things that makes YouTube important. So it was prioritized based on the things that I was really not good at. And I would hire someone to do those things first.
Brilliant. Oh, we've got a raised hand. So Renee wants to ask a question.
So Melissa, you did the messy launch is what we call it.
That makes total sense.
And now the phase 2 is to clean things up.
Yeah, we're in
And you get people to do that for you, basically.
Yes, yes. Michaela sends the most beautiful emails ever. When you look at the emails, first of all, I never even send an email, but once I did, they were like horrible looking. But it was just like, hey, we have a class. Come to the class if you want it. Click this link here with the spelling error and the typo in it. But now it's much better.
Right, Renee, have you got a question?
Hey, Melissa and team. Just wondering, please. So, how did you turn your big idea or your overarching insurance theme into segmented courses? So you don't have like one big course, like one. You've got like a few courses. So, how did you come to the conclusion of how to put them into separate courses, please?
So I think I kind of talked about that, but I one step at a time. Here's the thing. If you say, I need to sit down and map out exactly what I'm doing for the next 5 years, and you create that, even if you were, most people won't even actually do it, but if you try to create this amazing plan, and then something else comes along your way that's much better, and all of the things you thought and pondered on are trash now. I chose to take the path of, what is the next right step? What is the next right step today? I'm not trying to think years in advance of all the things, because that's just too much. That's overwhelm, that's stress, that's anxiety, that produces you to do nothing because it becomes too much. So I don't try to think too hard. What do I need to do today? What makes sense today? So like initially I was doing one-on-one tutoring because I knew that I could do that. That bred into, well, I should offer a class so that I can have multiple people come at one time, pay the same $33, but they'll get more time, and I will get more money because more people are coming in. So then I just started teaching a class. And then the people said, well, how can we get a copy of that? And I was like, okay, let me make that for sale. So then I made that for sale. And then people said, well, that class is only on homeowners. I want all of them. So then I was like, okay, I'll sell you all of my videos. And then they said, well, Melissa, what order should I watch these videos in? And I was like, okay, let me make a Zenler course, put the videos in order that you should watch them in. Like, I honestly was just responding to what my audience was asking for. And then I did that. I mean, yeah, I had this idea in my mind of having this beautiful course, and we will eventually make it. But right now it's mostly just videos. What I just sell is videos of classes that I recorded 2 years ago when I first got started. We will be making, and we're in the process of making, clean edited videos in a perfect little order and stuff like that. But that's not what is bringing me to 100,000. What's bringing me to 100,000 is simply selling what I already had. And I just followed what was the next right step at that time. First step, one-on-one tutoring. Second step, teaching classes. Third step, selling the classes. Fourth step, selling the classes in a bundle. Fifth step, selling the classes in a bundle in the order they should watch it in. And I've just followed and responded to what the people were wanting and what they asked for.
Are you okay with that, Renee?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Lovely. We've got Bryn for you now. Melissa?
Hi, so that was great. A follow-up to your response. First of all, let me say, you completely blew my limiting block out of the water about having all these videos that I've done that I think need to be edited to put into a course for an evergreen. And so I'm going to try it as just like that. So yeah. The second thing is, I have really personally struggled with hiring team and how much work it takes to like train them. And so any advice on that?
This is something Christine and I worked on quite a bit because giving up control is very, 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 very hard. Very, 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 very hard. Okay. So every day we would talk and she'd be like, why you gotta be in control? And I'm like, it's not control. It needs to be right. So this is all internal work. And because like I even said, like when I was a teacher at school, in order for me to take a day off, I would have to create sub plans for a person coming in. It was not worth it. it was not worth making the sub plans so that I could take a day off. It was
I used to
more
be a
work.
teacher too.
So, and that's kind of the belief that I had. And that was something I really did struggle with. So when it comes over to having, you know, first of all, you want to believe this gets to be easy. So like it gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. The right people will come to me. The right people will show up. If I hire someone who's not right, the right person will then show up. So this is something that I do this internal work on. It gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. Now, a big part of this is I did hire people sometimes that were not the best. And then what happened though was I had to learn how to be a CEO. So the people that I hired that created a problem or weren't the right fit or something like that, I had to learn how to step into my big girl shoes and be like, no, we need to do it this way, or I'm sorry, but no, like I had to become the person who could run a huge business, which meant I had to become a person who could have, you know, incredible conversations with people where it used to feel terrifying. If I had to firing someone, what? Me? I'm just a teacher. I don't fire people. Like there are gonna be circumstances, situations that come into your world that are there to help you grow to what you need to be, to what you need to become. So like one of the things I've recently heard a story about, Walt Disney went to 33 banks, rejection. The tenacity and the character that he built and the belief that he had in himself is what allowed him to be able to build this massively huge company that is known all around the world. So when you find yourself with a person who is not functioning or doing what you need to do, part of that is I need to learn how to have difficult conversations. I need to learn how to step into my power and be CEO, boss woman who lays down the law and says, this is how it needs to be. If you want to be paid, this is what we do. This is my vision. Get in line or get out. So a lot of it is you're just going to grow into develop into the person that needs to be the person who does what you need to do. So first you want to work on letting go of control. I don't need to be in control of everything. Okay. I don't need to, like there are things that other people have created for me that I'm like, I would have done it differently, but does it function? Does it work? Is it good? Yes. And then allow that to happen. Allow that to be the thing. I've learned a lot of that with parenting. Like my husband does something, I'm like, I would not do it that way, but he is a father. He gets to choose how he does it. I got to let him do it. I cannot be in control of everything. This may be a little bit of a woman thing. Like Allison A. Armstrong talks about this. She's amazing. I love her stuff. I'm sure you know of her because you've got Conscious Intimacy on there. But she talks about how, you know, as women, and you don't have whatever, feminine energy, whatever, but back in the day when we're in the caves, right, women had to go pick the berries. And we had to know which berries were edible, which ones were poisonous. We had to know how to process the food so that we could eat it and not get sick or whatever. And so we kind of have this, it has to be this way or the world will end. We kind of have this belief in our bodies. If it's not this way, the world will end. And I see this all the time in like moms groups where women will be like, my husband did the dishes, but he did it like this and he didn't do this. And oh my God, I should just do the dishes. Let him do the dishes. If he does it his way and it gets done, let that be okay. It is not the end of the world if he doesn't hang the rag up a different way than you did. You know, by thinking it has to be exactly my way is preventing you from getting the help you need. So I allow people to do it their way, and if it gets done and it's functional and it works, let them do it and release the control that it has to be exactly my way. It's not the end of the world. It's not life or death if he washes dishes differently than I do. So yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yes.
Thank you.
It helps so much. I just have to say, I didn't know if I was going to watch this because, you know, I thought maybe it'd be really salesy and like, you know, this grand figures and what you're talking about. Like, I just love your down to earthness, and it actually has been really very inspiring. And I'm so glad that I'm on the call, and thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
48 och 323.
Please, can you turn your microphone off? If you're on. Thank you. Thank you, Bryn. We're never salesy here at Zenler, are we?
That's something we can do we got to change our beliefs about sales as well. Sales, we do definitely have this concept. Sales is yucky. The used car salesman, so grimy, trying to get you to buy something. The thing is when you're radiating truth, like there is not one part of my body that is like, no one should buy your courses. I'm like, everyone should buy if you are taking the test, you have to buy my videos. They are going to help you pass the exam. Like that's not salesy. That's just radiating truth. Like you have conscious intimacy. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but if you know that you can help people with their intimacy in a way that is mind-blowing and amazing, and you just speak to that, that's selling without selling, just speak your truth. I see a question. Adriana says, lots of people struggle to believe in themselves, in their success. How did you turn it around for you to become truth or real? What's the best way to change your beliefs? I don't know. The best way, again, there's so many ways. What worked for me was, one, I started going to therapy. We have so many conditioned and programmed beliefs in our head from school, from parents, from society. You got to look like this. You got to dress like that. You can't have tattoos and have a good job. You can't have colorful hair and teach people in a corporate world. We hold on to these beliefs. One of the big things that I have to change in my audience is the word fail, because they'll take this test is hard. It takes most people 3 times to take it before they pass it. We've seen people take it 16, 24 times before they pass it. And people see the word fail on this document and they go, oh my God, I failed. I'm a failure. I suck. I'll never have a good job. I should just go back to McDonald's. Those are all programmed and conditioned beliefs from other people that are not your truth. They're the truth of maybe what you have experienced. They're the truth of maybe the people who told you that, but that doesn't have to be your truth. So I had to go to therapy and reroute, I think of my brain as like a laptop. And as a child, as a baby, other people got to determine what programs were downloaded into that laptop. Now that I'm a conscious adult, I can say, you know what? That program that says I'm not allowed to have funky hair and tattoos and wear spaghetti straps, I'm going to delete that program, and I'm going to install a new program that when I look in a mirror and I see myself, I'm like, oh my God, I love how I look. Look at all the colors. Look at the shine. It's so amazing. I hold the belief that when I love the way I look, like that's all that matters. And so I instilled that new belief into my laptop of a brain. So there's many different ways to change your belief system. EFT is one of them. Tapping is one of them. I actually did rapid transformation therapy, which is a specific type of therapy that you can do, started by Marissa Pierce. I talk about it on my YouTube channel. Christine has a 5A system where she walks people through, this is the belief you have, let's rewire that belief. She's got an exact program down. So there's many different ways of changing your beliefs, but just the awareness that I get to change my beliefs is amazing. So if you know, like, I have a belief, it's not serving me, I would like a new belief, being in that spot is amazing. And then just be open to, how can I change this belief? Find someone that resonates with you. I really, really love Christine's stuff. I will follow her till the day I die and have her as my coach and use her stuff, because she's got this on lock. Like, she has helped me shift and become the person I've wanted to be all of this time, underneath all that programming and conditioning. And when you have someone on your side who's rooting for you and cheering for you to do the thing you want to do, it just helps you unbury those beliefs. So there is no best way. There's your way, and you can find what feels best to you.
Excellent. I've got a question here, Melissa, from Liz, quite an interesting one. So she's asking, what type of content do you think has brought you the most sales? And, in brackets, if you had to cancel all content formats except one, which would it be?
Well, definitely video, right? Like, video is my main, I mean, that's what I do on YouTube, and that's what I sell. I hardly ever write anything, but I do, like, I will answer questions in the Facebook group with chat, right? So I do write, but whatever feels most authentic and good to you. If getting on video doesn't feel, there's a difference though. Like, I'm scared to get on video because I have a belief that my voice is weird, or my look is weird, or no one wants to listen to me. That's different than I just don't like video. If you really love writing, then do writing. If you really love video, then do video. If you really love voice podcasts, then do that. So there's no, again, strategy is different for every person. There are some people who say the only way to make money is to go live on Facebook, right? But if that's not your thing, then that's not your thing. It's whatever your authentic truth is. So if like Christine, she writes all the time. She's got amazing I read her emails diligently every single day. She writes so beautifully and exactly the things I want to read. So writing is her jam, you know. So but she also does videos and she does live classes like I do. So it's whatever is most authentic and feels good to you and allows your truest self to come out. So for me, it's video. I would never, video is me speaking live, and even live. I've recorded videos where it's just me, and then I put them up there, and they're not nearly as powerful as going live. For me, going live on the spot is the best for me.
Yeah, and that's when anything can happen. I love those kind of like accidents that happen sometimes, you know. It can take you in a completely different route. And that's what I love about lives rather than actually pre-recording. But I'm the same. I love lives. But I never used to come on camera. I just used to screen share, and I thought I was happy with that. Never thought I needed to come on camera. But I love it. You know, it's great. But another question we've got here, we've got Krishna, and she's asking, do you have competition? What are your thoughts on how to navigate when what you are trying to sell has so much competition, so saturated markets?
There is no such thing as a saturated market because there's only one of you. People are not buying the thing, they're buying you, your way of doing it. So there are other people who have YouTube channels dedicated to teaching the exam. There are other people who sell courses and supplements to help with passing the exam, but none of them are me. I don't see anybody as a competitor. They're just coworkers. They're other sources. I've encouraged people to check out other sources if it makes sense. This other guy had a commercial video. I'm like, watch his video. I don't love to talk about commercial. He does. Go watch his video. There is no competition because there is only me. I am the only one that exists like this in this time, space, reality. No one can compete with that because I'm me. I'm authentically me, right? Christine teaches energy and strategy. I could go online and find a million other women who do exactly that, but I want to work with her because I resonate with her, and someone else may want to work with someone else because they resonate with them. The thing that I believe is if I in my body have a desire to put something out to the world, there is already an audience waiting for me to do that. The desire wouldn't be in me if there weren't other people already wanting it. So what you want to do is shed the belief, because you're holding a belief, my market is like, why aren't you making money? Because you hold the belief, my market is saturated. Everyone wants everyone else's stuff, right? If this is what you're believing, this is the truth you're going to keep seeing. So you need to switch the belief. I am me. And whatever I'm talking about, whatever I am doing is perfect and amazing. And I will find the people who want to hear from me and work with me. So it's not just the thing you're talking about. It is you yourself engaging with that thing. And that is what attracts the people to you. So there is no competition. There's none. I don't have competitors. I have coworkers who may or may not know me, but I mean, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So I've got Leah. Leah's here now. She's got her hand patiently raised. Hi, Leah.
Hi. Thank you very much. Your energy is delightful. I just want to say that. So thank you very much for giving your time to us and just the opportunity. I have a desire to ask two questions. They may not be in the right sort of formulaic nature, but one is that I've got a lot of thoughts in my head on what I want to do and how I want to go about it. But I know that I'm not going to do the best in keeping those thoughts in my own head. And you're a lady I can see with so much that's going on around you and within you. So how have you been able to hone the decisions that you've made and how you've been marketing yourself? And I'm on a small island with most of the mean age here is about 85. So, you know, I can't really talk to anyone about, my whole world was very different beforehand. But now I really want to actually have that intelligent conversation to be able to say, okay, I can do these things, but how do I organize them? And a sounding board, I think, is what I'm seeking. How did you go about that?
Well, one is so you kind of have two questions. The first one was, I have all of these ideas. Which one do I do? One of them. Just do one of them right now. Like, we can find ourselves thinking and thinking forever. I could sit down and come up with like a bajillion ideas of what I could do, but none of them will come to reality if I don't pick one of them and start doing it. So do the easiest one. Do the one that just lights you up. You've got to take action. You cannot spend all the time in your head. So there have been times where I'm like, oh my God, this is such an amazing idea. But then something happens with the baby or whatever, and I have to set it down. If I have a belief that I can lose ideas or that I've lost an opportunity, then that will be the truth. But I choose to believe that whatever I take action on, or that ideas will always flow to me. I have a belief that there are infinite amount of ideas, and this is part of the truth of how you bring something true to you. There is a quantum field, right? And this is scientific, like there's science behind this. This is not just crazy woo-woo-ness. There is a quantum field of all potential possibilities, good or bad. There is a field of things, and it is infinite, it is unlimitless. And you can pluck from that quantum field something that you want to be true, and you can bring it to you and make it the truth in your reality. If you look at my life just 2 years ago to where it is now, completely different. I mean, I'm in a whole new state. I'm in a house. I've got a baby. I got a husband. I got $1 million business, like worlds apart from where I was. And I went to the quantum soup and I picked out something that I wanted to be my reality. And I identified with the person who had that, and I just went for it. But just the thing is get out of your head and just take action. You will always have amazing ideas coming to you from all over the place. So just take one and start taking action. A lot of times we will use thinking as a way to avoid doing. And you've got to do and not think. Write that down, Michaela. Okay, your other question. What was your other question? So I mostly addressed the first one.
It's all right. I mean, to feed back on that, I'm so used to, in my history of my marketing career, being in the situation of defining the direction for somebody else. When it's yourself, it actually has a very different flavor, if I can put it that way, because you can look objectively at somebody else's needs and you can see the way. It's almost like you've got the headlights. You clearly know what they should be doing. But when you're shining it back on yourself, and it's a very personal thing, it's different when it's a sort of a less close to your heart element. But when it is, somehow, for whatever reason, it seems to get coated in all sorts of, you know, the head stuff versus the heart.
Yeah, you got to get out of your head and just take action. And this is where I would not be where I am if I did not have a one-on-one coach with Christine, because she helped me get out of my head. And she's like, just take the action, do the action. She'd give me literally steps. She's like, we're going to hang up the phone. You're going to go do this. And I'm like, okay, I'll go do it. I needed a little bit of a manager, honestly, coming out of the corporate world. So if you're struggling, get support, get help. And I believe every dollar I spend in investing myself comes back to me tenfold. So I don't think of Christine as a cost. I think of her as an investment, because I know that when I invest in her power and her wisdom, she came from billion-dollar companies out in the real world, and she's got to harness that knowledge and is giving it to me and to helping me go down the path I need to go down. So I don't know if you have a coach, but maybe you need a coach to help you get out of your head and to stick to a path.
I have coached in different areas, and I really value what you're saying. And an element of what you're saying is also that there's and this is the other question, because sometimes in life things happen that throw you back into an area of more safe playing area.
Mhm.
And then you go through a period of years and you think, that's not me anymore.
Yeah.
That isn't me. I relate more with the person I was before, but I went into what I know some people call a waiting room. And but years have gone by and you think, I really want to be me again.
So then do what does that girl do? Do those things. Right? Like one of the things I when I moved into my house, this house that I'm in now, everything was kind of all over the place. And I was like, in order for me to feel my best and do my best, I need to have everything clean and organized and put away. And instead of thinking I don't have time to clean and organize because I got a business to run, I said everything can come on pause right now until I get stuff clean and organized. And so I in order for me to think best, to feel best, my desk needed to be set up, my office needed to be set up, my room needed to be cleaned up, stuff needed to put away, pictures had to be on the wall in order for me to do. So I had to become that person. I saw my $100,000 self as a woman who was so in love with her house, the place that she was in, everything felt joyful. I was like, I got to do that now. So you begin to identify whatever that woman is that you say, I like the way she is. Well, do what she does then. What would she do? How would she feel? How does she talk to people? Begin doing those things now. You need to embody the identity that you want to have. And you do that by doing those things. So like in my mind, my $100,000 a month me would look around at her house and go, oh, this is so beautiful. I need to do that now. So I need to make this space beautiful so that I can walk into it and say, my house is so beautiful. I had to become the identity of the person I want to have the identity of. You have to actually do those things. It's like, what would Jesus do? What would my higher self identity do? I need to do those things.
Thank you for the conversation.
Yes.
Right, great question, Leah. So there's no more questions coming on the chat, but I wanted to show Melissa, can you talk a little bit about your magic money site? I'm going to share the screen so you can just tell people a little bit about it.
Yes. Okay. So in the process of creating my business and going from we how I talked earlier about how I got the potential job opportunity of $100,000 and I now had the belief that I could earn $100,000. That's how much we made in my first year of business. So I anchored in this belief that I should be able to make $100,000 and boom, I did. I actually did it in 11 months because my first full year was actually $136,000 the first year in business, but I had the belief now that I could earn 100,000. So, and then now this second year was 500,000 and now we're very close. We've already done more this year than half the year last year. So it's just really mind blowing. But what I wanted to do was, we have a lot of money beliefs that are really funky, right? Like the only way I can make money is if I go to a job and I show up for this amount of hours and I have to do what someone else says and they get to decide my time and my talents and whatever. We have a lot of money beliefs that we need to shift. And I wanted to make a place. And another thing that I noticed, so one, we have to shift our beliefs about money. And then two, the other thing that we have is it is not safe often to talk about large sums of money. So we are so okay with bullying people who make money. How many of you have heard somebody talk total crap about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and they're the worst people in the world because they've got billions and they're spending it wrong, right? Like we're okay bullying and attacking people who make money. We make fun of people who make money all the time. Kylie Jenner, athletes. Oh my God, how could they be making millions for just throwing a ball around? Like we all the time make fun of people who make money. So one, we have crummy money beliefs. Two, it's not really safe to talk about money in the real world, especially when you're trying to change those beliefs. So I wanted to make this fun playground of a space where you can come in and safely talk about, I want to make millions of dollars a month. I want to be a millionaire. I want to have a jet airplane. I want to do whatever I want to do without someone saying, you want a jet airplane? Do you know how bad that is for the environment? And how dare you? Like it's a playground, a space to just talk about big money. And I wanted to make it so simple that it's just $33 a month. It's just $33 a month. And you get to come into the Facebook group, you get to ask questions, you get to be supported. One of the most powerful things about being in this group is that other people will amplify your manifestations. So like if I say, you know, I said in my group, I want to make $100,000 a month. Now I have all the people in my magic money group are like, Melissa's going to make 100,000. Melissa's making 100,000. And we're this month going to make 100,000. So like, it's a way of having other people bring in with you what the things it is that you want to have into your life. It's a way of being able to say, I want to make millions of dollars and never worry about money again without going to, that's not true. That's not going to happen. Or you're so stupid for thinking that. Everyone will be like, heck yes, me too, let's go. So it's just this playground celebration cheerleading group that'll help you shift your beliefs about money, have people celebrate with you about making money. And additionally, there's no set like times of when I will share information or teach or whatever. Yeah, what do you see? But people will ask questions and I'll just randomly go live in the group. Or I'll, you know, do a video like, you know, I might collect like 5 questions from the group and then I'll go live and address them. So it's kind of like having a one-on-one coach in the group. So that's the magic money. It's $33 a month right now. Because I'm coming close to 1 million, I feel like I might need to raise that price a little bit because I'm like, now you get to rub shoulders with a millionaire, you know? So we might be raising that price. And like I said, at some point, I feel like that group could be $300,000 instead of $33 a month. That's where I can foresee the vision going. So that's available. And I want to clarify, the Zenler business that has made 1 million is the insurance exam queen. Like that's where I've built this business. But in doing so, I have become a person who understands so much more about money and beliefs. So now I've also started Melissa Mae Dillon. And so I do have another YouTube channel, Melissa Mae Dillon, where we talk about magic money. We talk about building a business. We talk about changing your beliefs. Whereas the current channel that makes all the money is Insurance Exam Queen. So there have been some people who were confused about that. So I just wanted to clarify. Insurance Exam Queen is the business I built, $100,000 in 1 year. Now $1 million business. That's the Insurance Exam Queen. And I just want to share my knowledge, love, and wisdom in having built all that on Melissa Mae Dillon and that YouTube channel.
Fantastic. Right. I think we have got to the end. You've been summoned, Melissa.
Yes. This is Melissa Jr.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. That's fantastic. Look, this has been great. People have been saying how much energy you bring in. They feel full of energy now from you. And we've gone through lots of things, lots of questions gone through. Guys, there's going to be a replay go out on email. We're also going to put Melissa's site on there as well, so you can see it, you can check it out. So check that out on the replay. And it's been awesome. Melissa, thank you so much for your time, and Kyla as well. Kyla's here, she's been answering the questions in the chat. Remember, Kyla did all the websites there, and she's great. She helps on the community all the time, so big shout out for her as well, coming on and helping. But thank you ever so much, Melissa, for spending the time with us and just enlightening us with your amazing success.
Yes, and I mean, if you like what I said and you want to hear more, I'd highly recommend, you know, friending me on Facebook, because that's where I like to go live a lot and just talk and share. I do ask though, if you want to send me a friend request, to also DM me so that I know it's not just junk or whatever. Because there's a lot. I think I have like over 500 friend requests, and I'm like, I don't know if these people are real or not. So shoot me a DM so I know that you're real, that you just want to connect and be friends. You can also find me again on my other YouTube channel, Melissa Mae Dillon, where I talk more about business and lifestyle and making money, etc. And then I see someone also asked about connecting with Christine. So she's on Facebook, Christine Michelle Hayes. She also has a website, her Zenler website, The Aligned Soul. So The Aligned Soul, that's how you can contact her. She's been the woman behind me to get me to where I am today. When she met me, I was a corporate little girl with a blazer on, you know, and now I'm here. And then also Michaela, though, is very, very busy. And she's incredible at what she does. But if you have enough money, you might be able to afford to have her work with you. And she can Change your Zenler website and make it amazing.
I just want to interject here, Melissa. I was dirt cheap when I started working with you, and you have changed my money mindset. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Fantastic. Guys, I always say this, if you want to grab the transcript from this chat, go into the chat, 2 3 dots at the top, and you can save the chat there. I'm going to give you, I normally give 10 seconds, but I'm going to give you 5 seconds now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you done? Yeah, you're done. Thank you. Take care. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Kyla. And thank you guys for turning up. It's been awesome.
Thank you guys. Love you.